Hey guys! Today I'll be talking about everything you need to know once you arrive in South Korea for your exchange. Let's get started! Okay, so when you arrive at your university for your exchange, you'll have an orientation day. So you'll probably go into a big lecture hall with everyone inside it, and you listen to everyone at the university about the university and what exchange would be like. And there's a time where they say, everyone from Australia stand up, and everyone from Australia stands up, and we all wave at each other, and this happens for each country. And we get a pack like this. And it has the Sagang handbook and our cards in it, and just everything you need to know once you arrive in South Korea. So yeah, you'll get a packet like this. Go into groups and you go around the university and you do a campus tour, and this is done by a group called HUG, and they are a group of people from the university that helps out exchange students, and they do little activities throughout the semester and the year where they help us get closer to each other and to make friends. So this is the first thing that I'll be talking about, how to make friends. So people may be wondering, how do I make friends when I go on exchange? Or I'm an introvert and I'm not good at reaching out to people, so would it be hard for me to make friends, or would I not have any friends? But I'll tell you this now, but you don't have to worry at all, because everyone on exchange has no friends. You don't have any friends, but she doesn't have any friends, and he doesn't have any friends. So everyone is willing to make new friends. You don't have to worry because everyone is scared, so you're not the only one. And so when we do go into little groups on our orientation day, we do a campus tour, and this is done by country groups. But if you're in a group where there's only 3 people from your country, you're probably added to another group with another country group. I was in a group with Australians, but we had around 10 people, so I think we only had Australians in our group. They were all from all over the state. You just come together and then you do the campus tour. And after that, we have another activity where you get to choose if you want to go to Namsan Tower or this other park. I had to go to the other park, which was in Dongdaemun. I didn't make any friends with the exchange people, but I got to make friends with the HUG members, the original Sagang students. And this was because I was Korean and I could speak Korean, and so I started talking to them, and they were very interested in me as to that. They thought that I was an actual student at Sagang, not an exchange student. So that's how I made one of my best friends there. I still talk to her till this day. We were really good friends. We went to Guam together, we went on holidays together. But yeah, so when I went, I got to make heaps of friends like that, because we go to we do little activities, and we go to places and go and have fun and eat together. But also another way is that I had one friend that I came from the same home university as me, Sagang University, and she somehow talked to this random guy at our orientation, and she brought him to me and said, oh, I met this friend, and then we became a group of friends. But he also had another friend that came from his home university, and that's how we made our group of friends. And then that just expanded and expanded, because we just kept adding people to the group. And yeah, that's how we made a group of 14 people. It was amazing to have that many people in our group, because you're never lonely. You always have someone to eat with, you always have someone to hang with, and everyone is so up to everything. Like, they are so excited to go to new places, go to travel, and go and experience new foods and new things. So you're not the only one that wants to do it. So you have a group of 10 plus people that wants to do it. So it's very, very fun and very nice to be able to have those people around you. Yeah, so that's how I made my friends, and I think that's how everyone else made their friends. Even if you're quiet and introverted, you will somehow come across someone who will talk to you, and then you kind of make your own little group, and then it expands and expands and expands. Yeah, that's how I made my friends, and I have friends all over the world now, from the Philippines, America, Europe, Australia, all over Australia, Japan, China, and everywhere. So I still talk to them till now, and I think that is one of the greatest things that I experienced, where as like once you finish class, and then we had a group chat, and I'll be like, who's free for dinner, and then there's at least 5 people who's free for dinner that day. So that's how I got to eat with people and got to experience the true fun of Korea. And so yeah, that's how you make friends. Number 2 is banking. You may be worried on how to make your bank account, but you don't have to worry at all, because they basically do everything for you. All you need to bring is your passport or your ARC card. At the time, for me, I didn't have my ARC card, so I brought my passport. And at our university, we had a Uri Bank. And at our Uri Bank, we have people who can speak Korean, English, Chinese, Japanese, so you don't have to worry that you won't be able to communicate with them because they can speak your language. So you go there and then tell them, I want to make a bank account, I'm a foreigner, and then they're like, okay, just take a ticket and wait for your turn. And then your number is called, you go to them, they give you a sheet of paper, and then you just write your details, everything, and then you give them the paper back, and that's done. That's how you make a card. The end. Very easy. They give you something like this as well. You don't really need it. You just keep it in your drawer. Yeah. So you get something like that and you get a card as well. And so yeah, that's how you make a card. Very easy. So you don't have to worry. 3, I'll be talking about how to make a phone plan. So for me, I went to KT Telecom. We have heaps in Korea. We have KT Telecom, SKT, Ole, and a few more. But I went to KT and I just looked at the internet. I wanted more internet than calling fees because I don't really call people. So I got that, and it was very cheap as well. It wasn't that expensive. So when I did that, I would go and I would give them my ARC card. Oh yeah, another thing is it's better to use your ARC card for your phone plan, not your passport, because you can pay stuff through your phone and through apps, right? And if you have a passport, it somehow doesn't link to your phone account and your card, like your banking card. So you have to like link it all together to use the internet for internet shopping. And so when I did my banking, you know how I told you I went to do it with my passport first because I didn't have an ARC card at that time. When I made my phone account first as well, I used my passport as well, but they said if you wanted to internet banking and internet shopping, you have to have an ARC card. So once I made my ARC card, I went to both my bank and I went to for KT, and I said I want to change my details, and they said okay, and I just changed my details to my ARC card number because there's a number which is basically your number as a foreigner in Korea. And once I did that, I could use Kakao Bank and like Kakao Pay. It was the easiest thing ever. Kakao Pay is like the easiest thing ever, and that's how I did my how I changed it at the end. Because it just saves your life. It's like so much easier. So go to an KT or an SKT and just ask for a plan and just choose a plan that you like, and then just put your details in. I prefer you use your ARC card and put your ARC card details in, and basically that's how you make a phone plan as well. They give you a SIM card, just change your SIM card in, and now you have a Korean phone. Yes, that's how I did mine. Is dorms and share houses and housing. I talked about that in my previous video, so if you press up here you'll be able to see what it's like for either a dorm or a share house. I explained it very specifically, so if you watch that video you'll probably know which one you would rather take and everything about dorms and share houses. So I hope that video helps you. The next one is how to enjoy Korea as a Korean on exchange. So what that means is that when I went, I wanted to experience Korea like an actual Korean student, not just a foreigner, because if you can do that when you're on a holiday, and I feel like when you do that, you only go to like the big chain restaurants or chain cafes or like big places like that. Instead, I wanted to experience little places, like the little dainty cafes, the cute cafes in Yeonnam-dong. Like you go through little streets and alleyways and go to like a really nice restaurant. I wanted to try all of that. So I recommend you to not just go to the big open places in Hongdae where you can see, but I'd recommend you to try and find places like in Yeonnam-do or Iksan-dong and just go to little alleyways and find nice bars, restaurants and cafes. And I think I enjoyed doing that, and I loved cafe hopping, and I was able to experience my experience like a Korean on my exchange, not like a foreigner. And also I recommend you to go to the school university festivals, and I think that was one of my best experiences, where they have celebrities come to university and they perform at your university, and they have food stalls and they have like drink stalls, and you like get a picnic mat and just sit down on the grass and you get to eat, you get to drink, and you get to watch your favorite artists' performances. So I think that's a very good experience. That's a very easy, cheap way to see your favorite artists, because every university has different artists coming. So you can check, and you don't have to be from that university. So for example, I'm a Seogang University student, but I also went to Hongik University festival, and I recommend everyone to go because it is free and you will never forget it. It's something that you can't experience at your home university. Definitely in Australia you can't experience that, and that is something that I really liked. And also I recommend you to get the university jackets. I love wearing my university jacket. I wear it all the time. Like even here I wear it. But then in Korea, like if you go into uni, like everyone's wearing their own jackets and they're from like their like major. It has a major at the back. You can see a photo here. And I recommend you getting that because that is something you can keep for the rest of your life as a like memory to have. One of the most important things you need to know once you arrive in South Korea for your exchange, and I hope this video helped. Next video I'll be talking about which subjects to choose at Seogang University and the pros and cons of Seogang University, and I hope that helps as well. Thank you!